Well, good evening, Hope Dealers. It's so good to see you here tonight. And hello to those of you who will be watching the replay as well. It doesn't seem possible that it's time for our last Nations Call of 2021. So mark your calendar for January 5th. That will be our next one. But I am excited for tonight's call to hear from Connolly, Rachel, Amber, and Amber. We hope that together this will be a time of inspiration and reflection and encouragement for each one of you as you close out this year and look to the next year. You know, while coming to the end of a year always gets our minds going already onto next year. What do we want to accomplish next year? Who do we want to become next year? I want to just encourage you to still stay in this month, in this week, in this day, in December. Because if it's always like next something, it'll be from a cold start at the start of January rather than building some momentum here in December. And no, I don't, if you're thinking this is a crazy lady and she thinks we're just going to, build momentum straight through Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, absolutely not. I believe that so much can be done in December by working smart in little bits of time, but also how important it is to take that time off. I just did last weekend, if you saw New York pictures, and we'll be taking off time again right around Christmas to spend time with family. And I encourage all of you to do the same and spend that time with those you love and, celebrate the meaning of the season. But there's still a lot of time in there where we can make some smart choices to set January up well and close December strong. So I'm going to start with just a few little announcements, little mini reminders. First, it's so easy to think because I've heard already all my clients ordered last month and Cyber Monday and all that. And I know a lot of our clients did order last month, but not all of them. I still see tons of preferred clients with renewals in December, with rewards that expire in December. And if that's true, they did not order in November, or they wouldn't have an expiring reward in December. And there's preferred clients with renewals in December and January, as well as past due preferred clients that can all renew this month for free and get the gifts and all of that. But the number one key for growth lies in not going back to that same client well over and over, but in sharing the gifts of Arbonne with new people all month long, especially while we still have the free signups, free products. And now we've got that free extra product. You saw that, right? In the 30 days that they get all three of those products. So I encourage you, this is what I'm going to do, is to invite small groups, like maybe 2 or 3 people at a time over in that last week. You could do that if you're going to be gone that last week. Maybe you still have some time between now and Christmas. You'd have to figure that out. But let a couple of people at a time, 2 or 3, try the shakes, try the fizz. Maybe you want to make smoothie bowls, but share your experience with the 30 days of healthy living. And this is, I'll share more on Facebook later because it's still just in my head about wanting to offer a healthy happy hour on Zoom in that last week of the month. Maybe just do it on the Wednesday since we're used to Wednesdays. That would be the 29th. And I would love it if there are 3 of you who are available to share for about 5 minutes on that call of your experience with the 30 days to healthy living. Text me, Vox me, send me a message, something. Let me know that you're available and you'd like to share. And then in the meantime, we have so many great resources to share about the 30 days because, January is a big month from that. People are, tired of the decisions and the effects of the decisions that they made about what they were eating in November and December. And January is always a huge month. In fact, awesome Amber Fry, who runs our 30 days, has already said she's going to run it twice and have a group start January 5th and another group January 3rd. And another group start January 17th. And that's double the work for Amber. So thank you for doing that. So we've got our 30 days to healthy living s'more that Becca Carr did that is so thorough, gives such a great overview. We've got the new compliant before afters. And plus I send that recording of Allison and Connolly last month. I don't know if y'all are using that one. I love that. Allison did an amazing job on the 30 days, and then Connolly flew right into the opportunity. That has been a favorite of mine to send out to have people look at the 30 days. And I let them know that there is opportunity following that. So you've got that to be using as well. So that doesn't take having a virtual or in-person group to be able to share that way. And then the very last thing in my announcement category, and I want to scoot on, is a reminder that when you register for the virtual Path to Empower, you do get, besides the benefits of that, you get 100 points towards the next trip. I know at the beginning they said 50 points if you were virtual, but they changed that. It's 100 points, whether you're virtual or live, towards the next incentive trip. So be sure to register. And then if you're in Richmond or can get to Richmond, we are going to get together at Connolly's house and have a team dinner on that Friday night. Come back and watch it all together on Saturday. So we'll get the benefits of virtual and getting to be together. And for those of you who are coming from out of town, I think you've seen us say you can spend the night at Connolly's or my house. And if you are not close enough to come here, I encourage you to have your own gathering of your team to watch this. And if you're saying, but I am a team of one, this Path to Empower is more than 2 months away from today. And that is plenty of time for a team of 1 or 2 to double or grow to a team of 4 or 5 by then, if you choose to believe that. All right, I'm going to squeeze in a couple of quick things as my message tonight before turning it over to the awesome others that are going to share. And I want to share just first a quick thing from Bob Heilig's webinar last night. It was from his first of his 5 steps for promoting, within the next 30 days. And it was identify a clear outcome. And I loved how he said it's the importance of dreaming big, but then taking small, consistent action steps. Dreaming big, acting small is what he said. But acting small doesn't mean like acting small. It means taking small, consistent action steps. And he said to write down your 2022 impossible goals, and then write down your 30-day goals, which are those next small steps. And I thought, well, we're here in the middle of December. What if I just tacked on December and I'd have a little 45-day action plan to be a jump start to that January 30 days. So just putting that out there if anyone else wants to do it. But I thought one of the most important things he said was this. He said, learn to create your big business goals from 2022 from the realm of possibility, not from your current circumstances. That's so important. The realm of possibility, not looking at where you are, what you didn't do, that you said you would do, that you wanted to do. None of that counts at all. Just look at what is possible. And there's that possibilitarian word again. Big and possible goals stretch us. They force us to change. And then the last quick thing I want to share is just in the realm of perspective. You've heard me quote Cecilia Stoll, one of my favorite quotes of hers, about how the average consultant has the lifespan of a fruit fly. So do not be discouraged if you have enrolled someone or do enroll someone who starts and stops. They start wanting all the benefits, seeing what's possible, but disappears when they see that there's real work there. I want you to remember that every single Hope dealer who is an area manager or VP is someone who came into my business 4 years or more after I began. 3 of the regional vice presidents began 10 years after I started my business. I mean, I try not to think of it too often how Rachel was a senior at Virginia Tech when I started my business, but it just popped back into my head. You don't know who's in college right now who could be joining you in 10 years if you keep growing and you keep moving, because I was not sitting around being what Lynn Puana used to call a Hannah hope it happens person. I was consistent all those years in personal growth, in taking ownership of my business, in starting and running my own meeting, and sharing the products and the opportunity. And I could do that with growing confidence because of 2 main things. One was my alone time every morning, that time that I spent reading and praying and reflecting and making application. and then journaling both goals and gratitude for where I was, what I'd already been given. And then it was from going to every GTC or leadership retreat offered and plugging into the Nations Calls live, even though back at the beginning, they were just phone calls live, didn't have Zoom. And just listening, choosing to listen to the stories of others, reading the stories of others, so that my belief grew by leaps and bounds that Arbonne truly is a place where ordinary people do extraordinary things every day to enhance not only their own lives, but the lives of so many others. So that's, if I could say one thing to you, keep growing your belief in yourself and in this opportunity every day. You are worth it. Your families are worth it. And you have no idea the ripple effect that your yes will have on others. So I'm going to turn this over now to my dear friend and true servant leader, Amber Fry.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for getting on the call and taking time out of your schedule. It's crazy that this is our last call, Nation's Call of the year. Isn't that wild? I don't know if you all feel kind of the hustle and bustle of the holidays. I want you to just take it all in and just hope that you have amazing time with your family and friends and loved ones and really get to just soak in the holidays. But I want to say, Dina, I'm so thankful that you weren't a Hannah, I hope it happens kind of gal, because none of us would be here. And I think that your future team is going to say the same thing about you. They're going to say, like, I'm so glad that you weren't a Hannah, hope it happens, as you just continue to grow your team and your belief this month and into the next year. And I don't remember, I mean, I hear this all the time that you're always working your business 30, 60, 90 days in advance. And I think it is important to take what Dina said to heart, not just next month or next month. I mean, you'll do that forever, if you start learning that habit now, I think you'll just continue doing that each month. But I wanted to just encourage you to maybe even just do one thing that could potentially be a big thing in your business. The 30 days to healthy living is, I always think that January is kind of a big month. I think everybody should be doing it like any month they want to do it, but January seems to be a pretty popular month just after the holidays. Start of the new year, New Year's resolutions. I don't know if you share it this way, but I do. I think people are looking to feel really good. But I do know that if there is just one person that you have been thinking, I feel like they'd be so good at this business, or I'd love to share this business with them, ask them to do the 30 days with you in January, even commit to doing it yourself. It's really, really fun to, I think, choose to do it for yourself. You should do that for your business. Because I think that even mentally, we all even think better when we're just really taking care of our bodies and kind of just like focusing on that. But I thought if you just share the business with one, or share the products, share the 30 days with somebody, it's a really easy ask to share the business while they're doing it, after they do it. And I guess that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys tonight, is not making the business part complicated. I would say that my team and I have really been in probably a pretty deep valley, this year. It's just, first of all, I want to just say thank you for being here. I think this is it's a tough time. And I'm just so glad that you're here and that you're still here. If you're watching the replay, if you're on the live, Jenna and Olga, I love you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. But I think that a lot of times when you see difficult parts in your business, or you've gone through that valley part, it's hard to be like, okay, I'm going to pick myself back up, but do it today, because you deserve this business. You deserve what this business can do for you. I mean, if you can reflect on anything out of the crazy part of this year, just remember why you said yes in the first place. I mean, the products are amazing. The products are incredible. I mean, most of you started because the products are so awesome, right? And so just know that if you choose to like share the product with somebody today or tomorrow, get them to do the 30 days, share the skincare. If you can do that, that sharing then the business is just going to be like you saying yes to the business after you tried the amazing products and you saw the business opportunity. It didn't even matter how the person presented it to you. You saw the possibility, you saw the opportunity, and you were like, I want this. Just know you're doing the same thing for somebody else. I think for me, I have, and I'm just going to be really honest, I've overcomplicated sharing the business. I thought, oh, I need to do it this way. It's got to be perfect. I got to do it at the perfect time. What do I say? Oh no, I said the wrong thing. That's why they said no. I don't know if you've ever thought that, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you say it. It doesn't matter what video you share. It just matters that you share it. So I think if you can keep it uncomplicated, it's uncomplicated for them to say yes. It's not, it's just an easy yes. So I think that's the fun part. Share the products and then share the business. Just keep doing that, rinse and repeat. I want to encourage you to do that and have fun with it. I'm just keeping it as casual as possible, and I'm just going through the people and connecting with as many people as I possibly can in a short amount of time. I hope you guys have an amazing year, and I think that's the end of my message.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah.
I will piggyback on that and just say, like Amber, you were saying, just think of one thing that could be a really big thing. And I love that because I know that this month, I really like to soak in this month with family and just all the things. Like, I feel like that's a huge reason of why I have my Arbonne business, is because I really want to be able to have this quality time and do all the things and have lunch with friends or go to coffee or whatever. But in that, we still can do like that one really important thing that will move the needle, and it moves our energy level. Because like when I find when I'm not doing the things in some consistent form, I just almost, it takes so much more energy for me to then do the one thing. So I know we all tell ourselves this, we know this, it's much easier if you just keep moving along, but there are going to be times in your business, and right now can sometimes be one of those where you do get distracted in a good way because we want to be. But my encouragement would be like, what is that one thing? And in regard to that, I also want to encourage y'all to think about this year, so 2021, and like, what is one way in your business that you have really surprised yourself? You've really done something that you're super proud of, like something, anything, one thing, big or little. It could be, I was terrified to, and I'm thinking about you, Ashley. I remember this was a big win, like having a conversation about the business with someone in person, because Lord knows you started your business during the pandemic. So like that is huge. That's a huge win. And I remember celebrating that with you. But that is a one big thing. So I want you to think about that. And I really want you to encourage yourself by that one thing. And then extend that to your health and wellness. Like, what's one thing you've done in the realm of health and wellness that you're really proud of? And maybe it's, I lost a lot of my physical fitness in 2020, but I've consistently, slowly shown back up in XYZ, whatever that is that you're doing. Or Allison, your ballet easily comes to mind. And then the last would be in your relationships. So this could be a trying time for our relationships because a lot of us aren't at 100%. Like I know that I've felt really empty a lot of days over the past whole pandemic experience. But how have my relationships thrived through that, or how have I grown through that? I really think it's important to put that focus there, because we're acknowledging this positive energy that we are capable, and this realm of possibilities that you were saying, Dina, that there is so much possible because we've chosen to put one foot in front of the other. And Honestly, it is true. If you are still showing up for yourself and others in your Arbonne business, you're really winning. You're absolutely winning. And so pat yourself on the back with that, and then put that positive energy into a new action step, which might be that one thing. Maybe it's tomorrow I'm going to share my experience about the 30-day on my VIP group. I know that's a space for sure that I could extend some energy out into right now because people are paying attention. I just got to put myself out there. So you think of that for you, but I know we all have so much to be proud of. And I really wanted to bring attention to that tonight. And I am not sure who I'm passing to. So Amber L, take it away, sister.
Thanks, Con. That was so powerful. Thank you for that. And you gave me some things to reflect on, like what are we proud of from this year? I think it's easy to think of all the things that maybe we're not super proud of, or the things that didn't go the way we wanted them to. It's easy to focus on the heartbreak, I think, in many ways. And it's really powerful and bold to say, I'm going to acknowledge that that's a part of my story. That's a part of my journey, but I'm also going to give equal billing to the victories and to the wins and to the triumphs. And I'm going to not forget, how much strength and courage it took to birth that into being, whatever that happens to be, to say yes to that. And the thing is, sometimes it might not seem like it's a big thing in comparison to what somebody else is doing, but it just doesn't matter, because they're not walking your path and they're not living your story. And I think my little section here is really about reclamation. And there's a phrase that you've heard me say, and it's on the back of my book, Paddle Home. And it's a phrase that I want to basically tattoo on my body and say to everybody, because it feels like a really important, I don't want to say battle cry, but honestly, in living life out there in the world as a person who's got a big, beautiful heart and who's trying to create positive change for humanity and for the people that we love. And that phrase is, all of you is welcome here. And I think that we can very easily say that out loud and then look at everybody on this screen and think that to be true, like in a snap. Right? You can look at everybody's faces here and be like, well, of course, all of them are welcome here, all aspects of who they are. But we're not so forgiving oftentimes when we happen to take a look in the mirror. And we think we're doing it, right? We think we're doing it, but we still hold little parts of ourselves in judgment or in bondage or in constriction or in, it's almost like and you've heard me talk about this in the past too, we use other people's success as a weapon against ourselves. But the reality is that other people's success has literally nothing to do with you, because that's their journey. And if nothing else, we can allow it to be inspiration for what's possible. And so I want to just give you a little tool, a little frame I've been talking about this a lot in my teaching lately, and it's been really, really helpful. But I think that this little framework can help us on the fly when we're reckoning with a story in our own minds and our own hearts that's feeling really hard to move through. So I just want to give you this equation, and you want to just jot this down on the page. This might be helpful. So the way that story works is essentially we have an event that happens, right? So it's like event, and then there's an arrow. And then the next thing that comes is story. So we have a story that happens. And then the next thing, you draw another arrow. The next one is response. So we have a response to the story that immediately gets ignited after the event, right? And then after the response, there's one more arrow. The last part is the result. And so this little cycle can just run forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And we can have a completely different lived experience as a result of what that story is at the beginning, right? And we talk about this a lot, but this just presentation of this feels really important. And I'm speaking about this contextually in alignment with the frame of all of you is welcome here. And so I'll give you this because you guys know I love to just give you questions to walk with and to dream into and to journal with, because, I don't have your answers. You have your answers. They're in you. And I want to encourage you to play with them and to spend time with them, because in doing so, we liberate ourselves. And I'll tell you this, It's not possible to build a highly successful business if you feel like you are in bondage to some story about how you have to be that is not who you actually are. That's just the opposite of the true definition of success. And I think with all that we've been through, in these last 2 years especially, but just in our lifetimes even, we're all survivors of something. We've all overcome so many things. 2022 does feel fresh, right? I know our little weary hearts are like, please just be better, right? Like, please be the horizon of wonderful new beginnings. We get to create that story. We get to decide. We get to cross over into that. And I think we're in such a potent moment right now at the close of 2021 where we can really wrap it all up. We can put it all on the page. We can look at it. We can say, wow, that's still really, really tender for me, but I also feel really resolved about this. And I feel a little bit excited about this. And I feel a lot of bit excited about that, right? Like we can put it all on the page and we can look at that and we can give ourselves a whole lot of credit and we can write a new story for the reality that we want to live into for this next year of our lives, which is what we've got. It's our greatest opportunity. 2022 is exciting when you look at it through that lens, isn't it? And every one of us here can be in a completely different place by this time next year. And we will be. It's impossible to not be, right? We don't know who those people are. We're going to be different people. So I just want to wrap here. I'll say two things. One, if you believe that all of you is welcome here about everybody else in your life, but not about you, that's a great opportunity for you to work on that. That's a great place for you to start looking at where you're not accepting yourself, because I guarantee you're editing yourself and how you're showing up in your businesses and in your life and in your relationships. So play with those words and see what opens for you. Okay. And then I'm just going to read a passage from, sometimes this does it easier for me than me having to speak. I'm just going to read you a passage from my book, Paddle Home. And this one's called The Crossing. Cross over the threshold of your deepest truth. Rest in the comfort of your unending spirit. Transcend your titles. Let go of your labels. Tear down the walls of limitation and inhabit all of who you are. Live from this knowing. Love you guys. All right, I'm passing the baton over to Rach. We can't hear you, Rach.
Thanks, Amber. Good evening, everyone, and happy last call of December. That was beautiful, every single person. And it's beautiful to see all of your faces who are able to be on with us live. So I get to wrap us up. I hope I live up to the closer tonight, and just, hopefully you feel connected to the warmth that is here. I think we all probably realize this, but I just want to draw our attention to this point, that the things that we're talking about on here go so far beyond Arbonne, go so far beyond selling a product. Like, the value that is offered here is immense. And what I love about the value that is offered here is that you, as Amber so beautifully shared, like, you get to come as all of you to this place, and it's going to look different than every single person. And when you're sharing the business and talking to people about what it is you do with this, you get to know confidently that they get to plug in to this no matter what their goals are or where they are. That is massive. So, Dina, I loved how you really brought us back to staying in this month. Amber Fry, I loved how you gave us a focus and a vision point to just do one thing. Khan, I love how you really brought the love for what we've been through, what we've done well in such a strategic way. Like, if you need to, go back and listen to what Conley took us through, because it is really powerful and so clear, just like Connolly. And Amber, you just brought this clarity to the whole year for everyone. So thank you all so much. My point here
my takeaway for this whole year to share with each of you is to find what you need. Find what you need, not what someone on your team needs, not what you think your upline needs. Pause if you need to and find what you need. Growing your belief, as Dina so beautifully talked about, growing your belief might actually look different than you think. I'm going to leave it at that. I've so enjoyed getting to traverse 2021 with you all, the highs and the lows, and I'm looking forward to continuing to connect and grow and learn these lessons alongside each other. Thank you all.
Thank you all so much, Amber, Rachel, and Connolly, who shared, and each one of you who were here. You not only received, but you were giving to all of us just by your showing up and being here. I'm so appreciative of each one of you. And I am not going to say any more because I don't want to take away anything from Rachel's closing there of just find what you need, and growing belief will look different for each one of us. Rachel, I love that. Thank you. Well, you all have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And remember, let me know if you would like to come together with me to offer a 30 days healthy happy hour virtually in the last week of the month. Would love to hear from you. All right. Good night, everyone. I love you.